This is a Headgum podcast.
Hello and welcome to Perfect Person, the show where I'm perfect and you're, of course, a person.
That was incredible.
Recently, I've been matching my socks. Previously, I was in a war with my socks where I didn't want to spend the mental energy to be having to match them. So it would be sort of like, the sock is basically the same, but one has patterns on it, not matching my socks, but I am in a new era of my own self, and that means it's match sock summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just in time for fall.
I know, it's really unfortunate because the trend will go out as well, just like horses. But I've been matching my socks recently, and I think that that's fine. And let's double check. And yeah.
There we go. That looks good.
Thank you very much.
I love that.
I'm obviously joined by Jordan, Myrick, and Kendahl Jordan.
Hi.
Hello. It's so nice to have you guys on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us. Literally, everyone that listens to our podcast was like, you have to get on Perfect Person podcast.
Oh, well, I've been aware of both of you, and you're both very funny on the internet, so it's a joy to have you here.
Yeah.
And I guess I should ask, in case people don't know who you are, what makes you perfect to be on the show today to answer the callers' questions?
Oh my God.
Well, we decided together that what makes us perfect as a couple is that we have perfected the argument. And we can do any argument. Does not matter how heightened the emotions are, how serious or unserious the content of the argument is. We can get it down to 15 minutes.
That is incredible.
Thank
I
you.
have to know the methods.
Well,
I think it's you learn to suppress feelings.
Interesting.
You learn to say, because some things, now if we were fighting, if we were fighting over the same thing over and over again, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But when it's just a dumb thing where someone said something and then you took it this way and then you're like, well,
Someone's being
I'm in a
sincere.
mood today and you should understand that and you should whatever. I've learned to take a breath and push past every angry feeling I feel and dance a little bit for you.
You've
Or do a
danced.
funny voice.
yeah.
Oh.
And then it's over because then you realize you're like, what are we even talking about?
I love this.
Yeah. I would say the first 5 minutes of the argument, let it all out.
Yeah.
Vocalize every problem, every feeling. You can cry. You can like raise your voice a smidge. Once you hit that 5 minute mark, you have to start saying things like, let's work together to solve this problem, no matter how angry you still are.
Yeah, right. You're sort of doing the due diligence of saying the right thing.
Yes.
If you don't feel
And you can say it through like gritted teeth. You can be like, I want to move on from this.
Yeah, it's fake it till you make it big time.
Yeah, okay.
And then you do a silly dance, a funny voice, and it really heals things.
I think silly dance, funny voice. I totally agree. I think this is a fantastic piece of advice. Something that me and my lovely wife Sarah say is, I don't want to fart right now.
That's good.
And that has worked on a number of occasions. The problem is when it doesn't work, it's so embarrassing.
The greatest punishment of all.
Someone will be like, I don't want to fart right now. And they're like, whatever. And it's like, okay, well, you said that was going to work.
It like escalates the argument.
Right? Like someone wants out, they're saying it, and then it's like, this is like, we're both maybe still too mad about this to move on.
I love that though.
I know. I saw a tip one time that was like, if you ever start to get in a heated fight, you both have to put on party hats and just keep having the fight.
So funny.
But then if it does continue, then eventually one of you has to be the first to like remove the party hat.
Yeah.
And that is
That's-
upsetting.
Yeah, to be the first to take off the party hat.
And we have had where one of us has tried to do something funny and then the other person is like,
Not right now.
not right now. And
Not
you
right
do
now.
feel like you want to just like leave.
I'm like,
Just start
leave the
over.
I can't move. Yeah, I did come home the other day. I had to wear goth makeup for something, and the for this like Try Guys big event thing. And I came home, and me and Sarah were like, I don't even remember about something stupid. We're tired and whatever. And we started to like have an argument, and then it stopped because she was just like, "Your makeup looks so ridiculous." Like I had like eyeliner that I tried to remove that it had like little like stage makeup on.
I love to hear that you two also have little arguments because we have a relationship podcast and I feel like we bring people on and they're constantly like, we never fight.
Oh, we
And
fight.
I'm like, you're a liar. Or your relationship is so bad. You guys spend no time together. You don't actually talk about your feelings.
We've done it with friends too, where we're like close friends in the privacy of our home, where we'll be like, okay, like what's the dumbest thing you've like fought about? Like, and they're like, we don't really. I can't even remember. In private.
What?
After we've been like, listen to this crazy argument we had the other day. I was about to be done. I was about to be so done because of this stupid thing. And then we asked them, like, no, I have no idea. And it makes us feel crazy. But then every time, a year later, I get a call. We broke up. And I'm like, yeah, because you were fucking fighting and you were lying to us.
No, for
And
sure.
That's mean. That is so mean to make us feel. So it's just comforting because sometimes we're like, are we like bizarre? We're not having like fights like I think sometimes maybe people think we're being like, do you have fights where you're like screaming? Like, no, not like that.
Feel seen. We absolutely get into fights all the time. I think it's also maybe because of the way that like we're both performers, we're over vocalizers of things.
Yes.
Nothing is left unsaid, which, you know, some might say, okay, maybe
we wouldn't say that though, so don't worry.
Thank you. I'm in good company. But we're definitely vocalizing like, okay, what was that? You know, and that I think is maybe why we have fights, but there's also nothing left unsaid. At the end of the day, we go to bed and we're like, we feel great. We both told each other everything we need to say.
No built up, no pent up frustrations.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got to get to these calls. But, but before we do, we have to get to the perfect person speed round.
Okay.
Because I need to successfully calibrate your advice to make sure that we're on the same page. Okay?
Okay.
Because we need to go in there as a unit. We are a SEAL team designed to give advice to random callers all across America.
Oh my God.
So on this perfect person speed round, I'm going to throw just a couple things at you here, and I'd like you to react, respond, give me the goods.
Okay.
Perfect soup.
I don't like soup.
Huge flaw of Kendahl's is that she doesn't like soup. One of the talk about fighting. Yeah. One of the biggest points of contention in our relationship is that Kendahl does not like soup.
No soup at all.
No, unless you have a fat bagel to give me with it.
Oh, a soup and a
She's stupid. I'm sorry. I'll just say it now. She's just stupid when it comes to soup. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
A buttered piece of bread, something to dip in it. But then I'm like, yeah, I like this as a dip. But then once the bread's gone, garbage disposal.
I was going to say soup and dip. It's sort of as like where does it's a spectrum.
Right.
There's a Venn diagram of soup and dip.
Yes.
And it becomes the same thing. Gazpacho.
No, but Jordan loves soup, and Jordan drinks Bloody Mary mix on any flight we go on.
Which is like soup. Yeah. I would say that soup is one of my favorite foods. And for me, the best soup would be like a chicken tortilla with all the toppings or gumbo.
Oh, gumbo.
I'm originally from New Orleans. So
great.
It's near and dear.
I love gumbo. Perfect vacation spot.
Oh, that's so hard. I would say...
You want me to go?
Yeah, go. I don't know.
We just went to Tokyo and we were obsessed with it.
Oh my God, I just went to Tokyo.
Did you love?
I loved so much.
Yeah.
I grew up like a manga kid, so I had so much of my identity was like things I saw there.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, that's
wonderful.
the best. Also, we went to Tokyo, and now we're like wanting to go on a more like, we did the city. We did like Kyoto, Kyoto and Tokyo. Now we want to go out into Japan a little bit more. And I think what's so cool about Japan, similar to kind of why I love California, at any time you can go to any climate, really.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So we want to go in December and do like a snowy trip, do a lot of onsens, and then also go to like Okinawa and do a beachy vacation. So excited.
I love that. That's what we did. We did Tokyo, then we went to Kyoto. I think I actually liked Kyoto a little bit better, but just because I think Tokyo is so overwhelming, I didn't really know where to go and like what to do. And then once we got to Kyoto, we were also less jet lagged because I was demolished by the jet lag on the whole experience. Perfect greeting.
Hello.
There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
Hey.
I do think I need a big greeting. Like whenever I meet anyone and they're just like, hey, like I feel like I need someone to be like, I'm a hugger.
We love hi.
Oh my God, I feel like I already know you. Like I love like a lot at a greeting.
I agree. I want a big greeting and I want it to be loud. Perfect dip.
Soup.
Sorry.
Soup and a big bagel.
I was clearly hungry when I wrote this.
No, I love it. This is perfect for me. I would say either guac, no tomatoes, no diced tomatoes, my guac.
I agree.
Or
Chunky.
chunky. Or creamy, like maybe a homemade French onion.
Oh,
ranch from the packet,
That's nice. Ranch from the packet I really like. Is chocolate candy?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is controversial. Some people are saying chocolate is not candy. Chocolate is chocolate. Gummy is candy.
No, because then that would mean that all
but-
candy is gummy, and that's wrong. But not all chocolate is candy. But some chocolate is candy.
Yeah,
Like
there we
what?
go.
Well, like a chocolate cake's not candy.
Like a
but-
chocolate cake is like, or I would argue that a chocolate bar,
Yeah.
a fancy chocolate bar is not inherently candy. Or if you got like a block of fancy chocolate for cooking, that's not candy.
Yeah, but I guess it just kind of to me feels kind of like broccoli's not a vegetable. It's broccoli. It's
Is
like
broccoli not a vegetable?
no, it is. That's my point.
That's
It's
what
like
saying. Chocolate is candy, yeah.
it's like kind of like you could say that about anything if you just also said like if it goes into a category, maybe well, no, it's just it's like it's
broccoli's
still candy.
not a vegetable; it's a flower.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's
you're
a
like,
tree.
shut up. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Best type of straw.
Not a paper one.
That's right. That's fucking damn right.
Yeah.
A boba straw, but I'm not drinking boba. I like boba, but like the biggest straw
Oh,
you can. It's so wide.
it's like a vacuum.
It's like a full vacuum. I can drink a 18-liter soda in 2 seconds. That's what I want.
That's how I want to have like clam chowders through a boba straw.
Yeah, fast, right, straight to the dome.
And you know when it gets clogged, like with a milkshake, and you feel the clog happen in the straw, and you feel like literally horny from being like, and here it comes.
Here we go.
Something's
baby.
about to happen.
Yeah,
I agree. I do feel that way.
yeah. Can I mess this up real quick?
Yeah, please.
I'm no straw.
Oh.
Yeah, no straw whatsoever.
Talk to me about no straw. Is this a philosophical thing?
Absolutely not. Like most of my decisions, I just don't see the need for it. Why do I need something between
Well, it's good
me?
for your teeth.
Well, it's different if it's like a milkshake or something where it's like you have to have a straw. My teeth are fake, so I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, got it.
Most of them are veneers, so it's not really an issue for me. They're
Yeah.
made of plastic or whatever they're made of.
They're stainless.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. But I'm just like, why do I need something to come between me and a nice cold Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, I don't know. What is the purpose of straws? I guess it's fancy.
I guess. But then I'm like, if you're gonna have a straw, it needs to be one of the ones that says like bride on it. And as you like suck, the liquid comes through all of the letters. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely agree. Perfect way to quit your job.
Immediately, no notice, walk out the door.
Just walk away. No contact.
When
It's
I-
so funny.
Literally, whenever, I don't care what your job is, I'm like, leave. Like, I don't know, like, why would you tell them? It literally doesn't matter.
One day they weren't here anymore. They never respond to another email.
I literally I've quit more jobs than I can even remember.
Is that true?
100%. I quit. And
To be fair,
second,
you've never worked like an office job. You've only worked like in.
I was
like,
a telemarketer one
You've
time.
done custodial. You've been a telemarketer. You've done restaurants.
Right.
Each of those is a different character that you have done in a sketch. Custodial telemarketers, they're like all your characters.
It was all research based. So I could only go for a couple weeks. I literally just like anytime anyone was at all rude to me, I would be like, I quit. I was so done. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't give me notice, so why would I give you notice? And then people are like, well, because like if you want a good recommendation, I'm like, I don't need a recommendation. Anyone will hire me. I'm so sweet and
I'm
charming.
awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I do agree that walk out the door if you're listening out there and you want to quit your job. And finally, perfect plane movie.
Oh, well, I have one that I watch all the time, which is the Baywatch movie starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Zac Efron.
Huge swing. And is it? And you like this movie?
So I first watched it on a plane, first time I consumed it, and it was actually like pretty funny. And Zac Efron and The Rock were like a good, likable duo together. And I was shocked by how much I enjoyed it and how much I laughed. So now if I'm on a plane and it's there, I'll watch it. And I've never seen it off a plane. And I've probably seen it 7 times. One time I watched it on a plane and then rewatched it when it was over because I had fallen asleep for a little bit of it.
You've watched the Baywatch movie 7 times?
At least.
At least. Minimum.
At least.
Okay. I found out recently that Baywatch, the show, at one point had 1 billion viewers an episode.
1 billion?
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't even know there were that many people on Earth in the 80s.
Well, yeah, there was only 200,000 people. But they, I think it was because basically, like, in most places, they only had TV. There was no internet. And also, like, pornography was less present.
Yeah.
And so Pamela Anderson was, like, scantily clad. She's dancing on a beach, whatever. And it was the most popular show in the world.
Wow, TV could really be back if we just got rid of all pornography.
We could fix the industry.
Oh,
if
yeah.
we
I
take
could have a
down
network show if there was no more pornography.
But perfect plane movie for you.
I'm not a huge plane movie gal. I'm a plane reader a little bit. Not to say that I'm better than everyone.
I agree with that sound.
I'm a plane reader. I read a lot on planes. I will put a movie on in the background because I like reading with noise in the background, but it will be something I've already seen because I don't want to.
You're also a plane sleeper, so don't act like you get on a 17-hour flight and just read. You are a plane sleeper.
I do sleep a little bit. Yeah, I sleep a little bit.
If it's totally dark, are you clicking on the light so it sort of is shining in everyone's vicinity?
No, I do a book light.
Oh, you have a book
my
light.
book light is very intense.
It's only shining directly in my eyes, thankfully.
I got one because Jordan was like, I can't read. I would have our lamp on for so long while I was reading as I fell asleep. So I got this book light, but this book light, I would recommend it. It's from my local hometown bookstore. It is so bright that it's way worse. It's like a fluorescent. It lights up the whole room.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. My play movie is Julie and Julia.
Oh, that's a great one.
I've seen it so many times, and it makes me cry because it's so sweet. And also, planes make you cry more for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, there's some thing that like the pressure in planes, because you hear about people crying on planes, and it's like a thing because the pressure and I think the dryness or something like that, you're more susceptible to crying on a plane than off for
I never knew that.
whatever reason. So you're weeping to Baywatch.
I'm weeping to Baywatch. When the comedic character gets his penis stuck in a beach chair, I'm hysterically crying.
You love it.
I love it.
That has been the Perfect Person speed round, and I think you passed with flying colors.
You talking to me, Willis?
But we've got to get to the calls. If people are calling in, they need our help.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Nervous. I feel nervous.
But before we do, if you like the show, you should come see it on tour. I'm touring all of October, and most venues are sold out, but I know that there's still tickets in Austin, Dallas, Philadelphia, and Detroit still available.
Are you going to be in LA?
We are going to be in LA.
Can we come?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you comps.
Okay.
It's November 8th.
Perfect.
At the Bourbon Room,
Oh my God.
right after the election, and we're hoping it goes our way.
Oh my God.
But yeah, come see it on tour. And if you love the show, then you should consider joining us on Patreon, where there are ad-free extended versions of every single episode, including this one, where we got wild and wacky and weird and sort of got to know each other a little bit more fundamentally.
Yeah. We said crazy stuff.
We said really
some
crazy
really
stuff.
upsetting stuff.
And that stuff is worth paying for.
Agreed. And there's also bonus episodes every Friday where I call back people from the show and I get their updates on how my advice changed their lives.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm sort of a life coach.
That's
via
amazing.
phone.
Wow.
I talked to Booty Patrol again for the 4th time recently, and she's found love. So
Oh my God.
call back.
Booty
She
Patrol.
originally called in because she wanted to date the guy who was driving around in a truck that said Booty Patrol on it. And
Wow.
now she's found love. But we've got to get to these calls. Everybody knows that I love cash. And guess who is helping me have and hold my cash and make sure I am monitoring it in the proper way? That's gonna be Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. The first time I used Rocket Money, I immediately saved the cost of Rocket Money because I was able to cancel 2 pesky little subscriptions that I forgot about, making Rocket Money worth my while. Rocket Money also sends you a handy dandy little email that's like, hey Miles, you're spending way more this month than you did last month and the last couple months combined. Or, hey, Miles, you're actually doing great. Keep it up, buddy. Yeah, you are crushing it. You have extra cash to spend on your hobbies. Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all your accounts. You can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. And they'll even try to negotiate lower bills for you, sometimes by up to 20%. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/perfectperson. That's rocketmoney.com/perfectperson. rocketmoney.com/a-perfect-person. Everybody knows that I'm the mentally healthiest guy that could possibly be. But I wouldn't have possibly gotten there had it not been for the benefits of therapy. I've been to therapy many different times of my life, and I find therapy is a fantastic tool to get to the inner gooey, wooey, mushy stuff that you probably don't want to think about. Therapy's gotten me out of some low moments in my life, and I highly recommend that everybody try it. It's really nice to be able to talk to somebody totally unbiased and kind of like let yourself run, and you end up solving a lot of your own problems and getting wisdom along the way. And Alma can help. Alma can help find you a therapist who gets you. Therapy's more impactful when you feel heard and understood. If you want to talk to someone, Alma is there to find you the right someone, not just anyone. When you browse the directory, you can filter by what you want to focus on: anxiety, relationships, or big life transitions, as well as any preferences around gender, sexuality, faith, and more. It's easy to get started with Alma. You can browse the directory without creating an account or sharing payment information, and you can book a free consultation call with any therapist you're interested in seeing. These 15-minute calls give you a chance to see if they're a good fit for you, so you can find someone you really click with. I have test-driven many therapists at my own cost, so the idea that you can test drive a therapist with Alma's help is very, very helpful. Alma can help you find the right therapist for you, not just anyone. Visit helloalma.com/perfect to get started and schedule a free consultation today. That's hello, ALMA.com/perfect.
Hey, Miles. My boss burnt me on the vagina 4 days before my wedding, and I'm wondering how I can leverage this to get a better raise this year. Call me back. There's lots of details.
Okay, so we're using the burning to get a better amount of money for the year. Now, I think that this is going to be pretty doable, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I'll say is someone who was recently burned on the vagina by European Wax Center. Yeah, that's right, European Wax Center. I sent you an email and you just refunded my card and didn't reach out.
All aboard! Misogyny alert!
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly right.
Yeah, European Wax Center gave me a bikini wax and then ripped a bunch of my skin off my like inner thighs.
Oh my God.
And then I emailed them and they just refunded me and never said anything to me again. And it really has negatively affected my life in a lot of ways. So I just
mine, I want to say too, because every night I have to rub contact dermatitis cream on Jordan's vagina.
Yeah. So I just want to say for anyone out there being like, is that a real problem? Yeah, it is. And
This
it will
is
affect
real.
your life for a long time.
I'm glad that you have firsthand experience with this, because we're going to be able to counsel this person properly.
Absolutely.
To get the raise that they deserve.
Hello?
Hello, you called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Jordan and Kendahl.
Hello?
Hello. Hi.
We're gonna need to.
hello.
Hello. Oh my goodness. We're gonna need to give you a fake name. Kendahl, what's a fake name for this person?
Oh, Janelle.
Janelle, why don't you tell us what's going on and why your boss burned your vagina?
I've had this unique experience happen to me twice with two different bosses
Okay.
in two different times of my life, which is crazy. I work at a spa.
Okay.
So my boss was giving me a Brazilian wax, and she decided to get a little frisky and try out a wax that she doesn't normally use. And she had accidentally turned it all the way to hot and put it on my skin and ripped my skin off.
And this was 4 days before your wedding?
4 days before my wedding, to which we then went to Costa Rica and stayed at like the hot springs resort. So I was pretty sure I was going to contract a disease
Yeah.
with my open wound.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
How much bush were you showing in your wedding dress?
You know, so the other time that I was burnt was at a laser hair removal place I used to work at. So I don't have a lot to sport either way.
Oh.
More context is I also quit in November and then hated the job that I quit for and came back. So I worked here for 5 years and I missed out on my Christmas bonus last year because of when I quit. And I missed out on my bonus from this year. So I'm technically already owed like an extra, raise.
Yeah, you're looking for
So I'm
that
like,
cash.
how do I use this as leverage?
Now, was your boss sorry?
So she was, but here's the funny thing. She was embarrassed. And so she was trying to downplay it and was like, it's not that bad. It's not going to be that bad. And then I showed absolutely every person that I know. And one of my other coworkers came back to her and was like, hey, you need to do something about that. It's really bad.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
And then
terrible.
she felt bad. And she regularly asks me to flash her my cooch at work now to check in on the scar.
And how's the scar? Because we have some experience with this. Did it cause contact dermatitis? Like, is it still very itchy and painful?
No, luckily it didn't, but it is like a huge scar.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
So sorry.
That's horrible. Are you friends?
Really fucked.
Are you friendly with your boss, like outside of work? Is this someone that's in your community and world, or is this someone you only see there?
Okay, so here's another interesting thing. She's a Scientologist. I work next to the Church of Scientology. So, like, we're super cool. But, like, she don't do the things that I do outside of work. So we don't really hang out outside of work, but we're really cool.
You were burned by a Scientologist.
Okay, she has a lot of money. So even if just outside of work, you could be like, just give me personally $5,000 and I'll never talk to you about this again.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want. You hit the nail on the head because our Christmas bonus the year before was $5,000.
Your Christmas bonus at a spa is $5,000?
That's insane.
Okay, I'm irreplaceable. No, I'm kidding. It actually has nothing to do with that.
Wow.
It's just for the people who work my position because we don't get tips. So she basically tips us for the year.
It's starting to seem like the position you hold is just the tester of new products at all the places you work.
Who are you, Janelle?
I'm front desk. I'm reception. I'm spearheading operations.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you need to go to the dermatologist and then be like, what is the most expensive cure or care for what has been done to my crotch, and then have that written down by your dermatologist, which your dermatologist will absolutely do, and then take that back to your boss and be like, hey, I'm going to need to be recouped on this because I'm still having issues from it. Saw a dermatologist. This is what she said I need. And then use that either for that or, I don't know, go back to Costa Rica or wherever you were. Like, it doesn't matter. She's none the wiser.
I think that's fantastic advice.
I agree.
You almost have like a bill of what it would cost to fix the mistake. Also, what would be done if this was on a customer? Like if a customer got burned really badly, what would the protocol be there?
The person who would have gotten wax next in that room and it would have happened to is a famous person's daughter. So famous person in the Church of Scientology's daughter.
It was Suri Cruz.
Was it Tom Cruise's daughter?
No, but her brother is a client of mine and we're cool.
Oh my God. We have to call you after this.
That's so funny. Do you wax all of the Scientologists in the Los Angeles area?
Yeah. Are you doing Giovanni Ribisi?
It's a real tight-knit community. Like, I know I'm not a Scientologist.
Are you sure?
Wow.
Be careful out there, Janelle, because these people are going to put you into their call.
Yeah, don't let the pubeless Scientologists of this city get their claws into you.
They've only tried to recruit me like once, but they won't let you in the building if you're not a part of it.
Okay, only once. I had friends that were like in acting classes that were like actually Scientologist recruitment things.
Yeah.
Where they're like, actually this kind of, we want to talk to you about some interesting ideas.
Here's what I'll say. If you tell them that you'll sue them if they don't let you into the Scientology building, bring a camera in, you're going to make a lot more money than $5,000.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sell a doc.
Maybe we pivot. We pivot.
I do think the bill of the dermatologist's line items is really smart to be like, okay, what's this like collagen infusing or whatever we're doing for the scar, and then just get that cash and go on vacay.
But we're so sorry you've been through this.
Yeah, my goodness.
This is terrible.
It's so terrible.
Yeah, sending you so much love.
Yeah, sending you love. For real. Stay safe out there, Janelle, and thank you so much for calling in. Best of luck getting that cash.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I will definitely keep you updated.
Oh, please do. All right. Bye, Janelle.
Bye.
Bye.
Incredible.
Wow.
I can't believe the Scientologists have their own waxer.
I mean, they have everything, don't they?
Yes, they do. And that's why we'd like to thank our next sponsor, the Church of Scientology.
Suri Cruz.
Suri Cruz. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we've got to hop back on the phone lines because more people need our help.
It's never not going to make me laugh.
It's funny every time.
Oh, it really does bring me joy.
Hi, Miles. I am a teacher, and I got publicly dissed by an anonymous coworker on an email that went to my entire school staff. And I don't know what to do now or how to figure out who this person is. Please give me some advice.
Oh, we'll tell him who the person is. We'll find this fucking rat.
How do you send an anonymous email?
That's my question, too. Hello, you called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm with Jordan and Kendahl.
You're literally joking.
It's me. We need a fake name coming right from Jordan. What's the fake name for this person?
Sarah.
Sarah. Sarah, what is literally good?
Sorry, that's crazy. I've like called it a couple times. I never expected to get a call back.
Well, here we are. And also, what type of school do you teach at? Is it a public school, private school, and how many teachers?
I teach at an elementary school, public elementary school, and I'm a music teacher. So literally, if someone called out, was like, "Hey, shout out to every music teacher or to all the specials teachers except the music teacher."
Oh my God.
Literally by name called out like, "Hey, gym teacher, art teacher, library teacher, makerspace teacher, you're doing an amazing job." Called out 4 of 5 specials teachers and did not include me.
Oh, and how do you know this is an anonymous teacher or a parent?
It was a teacher in the building. One thing that my school does is we can submit anonymous shout outs of "Hey, this teacher's doing such a good job." And so it was anonymous from another teacher within the building. And then the principal put it in the email that went to the whole building.
Okay.
I think you have to send an anonymous shout out to yourself.
I do fear.
To rectify this. I think you have to send it and be like,
And
hey,
it has to be long.
this needs to be featured, but I just want to say, hey, I realized that Sarah, the music teacher, was not included in last week's shout out. And I just want to say she is doing an incredible job. Her students are thriving. She looks stunning every day. The way that she teaches is unparalleled. And I wanted to make sure she got her flowers.
Yeah, also fuck the gym teacher. This guy sucks.
No, honestly, yeah, he's kind of an asshole. So that's the truth.
There you
They
go.
all are.
I do think that a fantastic idea, personal shout out. And I'm also wondering who are your top list of suspects in who might have done this disc? Because it does seem intentional to call out everyone but you.
No, it definitely is. And I told the rest of the specials team, I was like, what the fuck is up with this? I don't understand. And the only thing I can think of is I'm one of the youngest teachers in the building, by far. I'm only in my 2nd year of teaching, and everyone on the specials team has been teaching for at least 10 years. There's one 2nd grade teacher that last year, this is crazy. She definitely did not like me. But this year I thought we were friends because she was like, "Girl, would you want to work together and do a musical with the kids?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so down for that."
She's a snake.
Why did you think she didn't like you?
Well, okay, so in music class, for whatever reason, one of the kids was like, "How are babies made?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not going to answer that." But then the kids were like, "Well, can a woman and a woman have a baby? Can a man and a man have a baby?"
Right.
And as a gay person myself, I didn't want to just be like, "No, we can't talk about this."
Sure.
Right.
And so it was just a weird, I did not say anything inappropriate to the kids. I was just like, "Well, no, a man and a man cannot have a baby." And then they're like, "But why?" And I was like, "Well, they just don't have this. It doesn't go together right."
You got put into an impossible corner. Sure.
No, literally. And so I let the teacher know that this had happened during music class. And she was like, "Oh no, you should have shut it down from the very beginning." And I was like, "Well, I didn't want to if I'm the safe person that a student can ask this question to, I don't want to just shut them out."
Right.
Sure.
But I thought we were good and friends again because she asked to do a musical together. So I thought we were going to be besties again.
I think maybe you go to her because to me, if you're a detective, you want to start at the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
You want to go to this 2nd grade teacher and you want to say, "Hey, that was sort of weird that I wasn't included in the shout out, wasn't it?"
Right.
Because maybe she's not the rat, but maybe she knows the rat.
Right.
So true. And you can use kind of specific language. You can say, as a gay person, it felt interesting
Yeah, that's
being
right.
left out. Because that's what I would do as a gay person. I would say, "Oh, as a gay person?"
Oh, it's a little weird.
There definitely are some homophobic bitches in this building.
Just interesting to think
And I am
about.
one of one gay person.
Listen.
Wow.
One of one gay person on staff. Oh, maybe it was a homophobic. I didn't even think of that.
Maybe we can use this to get a little extra cash. On the side, you go to the principal, you say, "I'm being targeted because I didn't get a shout out in the newsletter."
Yeah.
And I do deserve cash for that. But I think that it's got to be the 2nd grade teacher. To me, though, I think you got to, at the very least, put in yourself. But I think if this existed in a school that I was working at, every single week I'm nominating someone for the special shout out.
Yeah.
I'm doing different, and it's to my own benefit. Maybe with a tee-hee, I obviously wrote this one.
Yeah.
So that way people know where your allegiances are, because it's all politics at the end of the day.
So true.
No, it literally is. Working in a public school it's all politics.
Oh.
Yeah. My mother worked at a public school for like 35 years, and it was entirely politics. It was all about the new vice principal and his whole bullshit scandal thing.
No, and literally we have a new principal this year and he sucks.
Maybe
Wow.
he sent it in.
Yeah. Ooh.
Maybe he's homophobic.
Maybe he's actually a little homophobic, and you deserve cash for that.
And you deserve-
Maybe. He doesn't give the vibes of being homophobic.
Because he's gay.
He seems gay.
Is he gay?
No, it is weird though, because people can submit these like applications or like these shout outs on a Google form. He not only read it, but then copied it into the email.
So he's kind of the rat on the end. He's the chief rat. He's getting the feed,
No,
and then
he
he's
is
choosing
the chief
it.
rat because he saw it, read it, was like, Sarah was not included. I'm going to put it in the email anyways.
You could have been included and he deleted that
He
part.
deleted me.
This is what I'll say. More and more is leading to kind of tell us that he is gay, because this is an extremely bitchy thing to do. He's instigating drama.
Yeah.
And
He
listen,
does have a wife and son. I
okay,
hate
that
to
doesn't
say
mean
it.
he's
That's
not
He can still be
gay.
gay. He definitely can still be gay.
Doesn't mean he's not
okay?
gay, in my
Nope.
personal experience.
That's right.
Hey, submit a shout out about that.
Shout out to our gay principal.
Shout out to our gay principal. I love how he's slaying each and every day in his office. Yas queen.
Our old principal was gay, so like then I feel like it might just get confused.
There's a precedent
You know what I
there.
mean?
God. This
Yeah.
is why, listen, you can't have too many gay people around. It gets confusing.
Hey, whoa.
I'm gay. I can say that.
Okay, honestly.
I want to be the only gay person in a room.
That's fair. Sarah, thank you so much for calling in. I do hope you get that cash.
Yeah.
And I also do hope that you find the rat, but more importantly, that you nominate yourself for the shout out for next week.
I will be nominating myself for a shout out, and I'm going to try to find the rat. So thank you so much for the advice.
Thank you for
literally
calling
can't
us.
believe you actually call me back. That's crazy.
Thank you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
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 So sweet.
Wow. Yeah, very sweet.
Wow.
You got to find the rat at work, because it is all politics at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I do wish that there was sort of, I love the idea of an anonymous newsletter that goes to everybody.
It's very, very bitchy.
Well, I feel like it immediately instigates drama, because it's like, who's getting the shout out, who's not
But
getting
that's
the
probably
shout
why
out.
they do it. And honestly, that's why sometimes I'm like, should I quit being self-employed and go do a job like that? Because even though drama makes me so anxious, when I see or hear things like this, I'm like, I want to be involved.
I want to get at the top.
I would be going around asking, I would be who she could come to and be like, you need to find out who did this. And I feel like I would be great on Big Brother in that way.
Yeah.
And so I miss working in a group setting.
Yeah, I remember I worked at this headphone store, and it was in New York, and there was a shop in Soho, then there was a kiosk underneath the World Trade Center, and we would sell headphones to people that did not want headphones. And there was like a shout out to our top like people of the week that had good attitudes. And I was always like, these people are the biggest pieces of shit in the world.
Right.
The hierarchy of trying to get to the top of people who do not care about you is real.
Yeah. I also think you have to have a work nemesis.
Yeah, that's very important.
And a work, but then you have to have a work nemesis and a work crush. So I think the problem is that there's no other gay lesbian, it seems like, at this
Work.
at work.
Stressful.
That's a problem.
Really stressful for Sarah.
It's good for productivity, I think, to have a nemesis.
Hi, Miles. I need to know if I should play anti-Cupid and break two people up. Give me a call back. Bye.
Okay, meddling in others' affairs. Are we pro or con?
I'm a con. I think I'm opposed.
I'm also a con, but Kendahl and I are also very pro breakup, pro divorce. So I think it puts us in kind of an interesting situation.
You're con meddle, but you want people to figure it out for themselves.
And they will, and they're not going to listen to you, I think is always the problem.
But
It's
what
like,
about a nudge? What about a hint?
I think it usually makes them become secretive towards you and also be annoyed at you.
Well, but what if you do it like this? You go, oh, that's so interesting that they did that bad thing. You know what I mean? So
That-
I'm sort of,
oh, yeah, I think
so
that's
I'm sort
okay.
of being secret, but I'm guising it under a
Yes. No,
oh,
I
that's
think
so
that's okay.
weird that they didn't show up at all.
You're kind of
Yeah.
more subtle than Kendahl or I could ever be. So
Yeah. I guess I've never tried
So
that.
that's like a cool
I've just always been
concept.
like, break up with them. They suck. And then they've been like, that's mean. That's
Yeah.
my partner of 5 years. I'm like, okay.
You're like, oh, oops.
See?
Well, let's give them a call back to find out why they're trying to break up their friends.
okay.
This episode of Perfect Person is brought to you by Huggies Skin Essentials. I have a little baby, and dealing with diaper rash can be so frustrating. You see, you're little loved one, and they're so upset because they've got a little rash and they feel annoyed, and you feel like you're powerless against it, but baby butts can rejoice. Because new Huggies Skin Essentials are here. A brand new dermatologist-approved line of diapers, wipes, and pull-ups training pants. Whooshing, all designed with baby-sensitive skin in mind. The Skin Essentials diaper features the Skin Protect liner and help protect against the top 2 causes of rash by managing moisture and runny mess. The wipes are thick with 2 C's, you know what I mean, and have 0 harsh ingredients for a great gentle clean. Pull-Up Skin Essentials has got your big kid covered too with a training pant that is ultra soft and breathable to help protect sensitive skin throughout body training. Learn more at Huggies.com. Once again, head to Huggies.com to learn more. Hello! You called Perfect Person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Jordan.
God,
I'm here with Jordan, Myrick, and Kendahl Jordan.
Hi.
Hello.
We are so excited to talk to you, and we, excuse me, absolutely need to know why you're trying to break up your friends.
Okay, first of all, you need to know that I would never do something like this.
No, that is
I
good to
am
know.
not a meddler.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
That
see,
is good to know.
That's good context.
This does sweeten the pot. We're going to need a fake name coming right from Kendahl.
Oh, Bernadette.
Bernadette,
Ooh, I like
please enlighten us on what's going on in your life.
So my husband's one of his best friends, he's a really nice guy, like a very nice guy, but he's kind of one of those people that you would never set up with like your single friends, you know?
Yeah.
I have a picture in my head.
Yeah,
Yes.
should we give him a name as well? So you're Bernadette, and I guess he's got to be Joyzy.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so Joyzy, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nailing it.
Joyzy he's a car guy. He's kind of like, he's older and he just has a few like red flags where he's just like kind of clingy and
Clingy older car guy. Throwing lots in the pot and mixing it up.
he's got like, I think it's like, I don't know if it's mommy issues. I don't want to make too many judgments, but
Sure.
he's a nice guy. So anyway, he and my husband and I get together every once in a while and we chat and we talk about like, you know, his love life, and he puts it in our lap, right? That's why I'm not like a meddler at all.
Yeah.
And then, so long story short, we go to this party the other day, and this is a different friend group, and it's kind of a friend of a friend situation. And she says, well, I'm talking to this guy, you know, he's really nice, but, you know, I'm not sure. And then he says Joyzy's name, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh no, do I say something? Do I say something to my friend who's like this, you know, I'm closer to?
Is
and
Joyzy,
so I don't know what to do.
Is Joyzy villainous, or is he just like kind of a dud?
He's like stage 9 clinger. Like he just like I have been friends with his girlfriends in the past, and it's just like, how do I describe it? It's like there's always drama. Like we'll go out and there's like, you know, past girlfriends, they start yelling at each other. You know, it's like the Instagram love bombing. Like everybody sees how many Instagram posts he has.
Yeah, sure.
So it's not like, he's not like a jerk. Like he wouldn't like, you know, he's not really awful. It's just, there's some things where I'm like, oh God, now there's going to be drama. Selfishly, you know, drama in both.
Right. When it's not going to work out, you know.
Right. Yeah. So like, is it my place to do anything? Do I say something to my friend? Or should I just be like, you know, time will tell?
I guess my question is, could you describe the perfect person that would date Joyzy? Like, is there a lock meets key person that you would be like, actually, you guys are perfect together?
Oh, that's so hard. Like, I feel like it's a situation. He needs to find himself, I think, first. I mean, I think he would need someone that could set like really firm boundaries.
And you don't think your friend could do that?
She's younger. She's a friend of a friend, so I don't know her as well, but I know she's younger. Maybe that's the other problem is I don't know her all that well either, so maybe she could be that person for him. It's more just like, I think he, you know, and this does sound like meddling, but I do think that he maybe needs a little, you know, therapy session.
Sure. Or a couple. Yeah. I mean, I think you could be like, because I think it's different if you like meet someone's partner and then you don't really like them and then you feel like you want to meddle. But if she's like, I'm seeing this guy and you're like, oh, I know him. Like, did you tell her that you knew him?
The only people that know is me and my husband because, you know, we're both friends on the same side and we're from like a pretty big like population area. And so like my husband's on the stance that just like, and he's always like this. He's like, you know, they'll figure it out. Like, you know, everything will work out the way it's supposed to work out. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you know, is that what I should do? Should I at least tell my friend who maybe can like tell another person?
Yeah, I think you could be like, I know him actually. And then I think the normal response would be like, is he cool? Especially when you first start dating someone. And then you can be like, to be honest, no. And unless you love cars, he's great. But you could also be like, if, you know, his past relationships, there's been a lot of drama, yelling, but, you know, maybe he's changed and you can kind of leave it at that and then she can make her choice.
That feels kind.
I agree. I think that's very wise to be like, you wait for the baited question and be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. Like, because I think that tells everything. And then your friend can relay the information. You don't know the person that well. So how would you'd be reaching out to them like via text, 911, the guy you're seeing is boring or like extra clingy. Like, I kind of think that's not worth an intervention, but it is worth a warning shot to the friend.
Yeah, I think it's also like she could be absolutely miserable to date as well because you don't know her that well, it seems, and you've never dated her. So you might, you know, maybe Joyzy needs the heads up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you just don't know. So I would say don't give her too much credit.
Well, because I also think that maybe the time to have told her would have been when she said, I'm dating Joyzy.
Yeah.
And maybe now it might have just passed. And now it might be kind of like past when you could really say something.
Yeah, you're living a web of lies.
That totally makes sense. So the thing I'm concerned about too is that there's going to be, and this is maybe me just being a control freak, but they're two separate friend groups. And now they're like, we have this thing in common. And I just, based on his past relationships, I'm like, I just don't want drama, you know, but at the same time, me meddling might like totally stir the pot. But
and I guess you don't want to also, you said there's two different friend groups. It sounds like you maybe want to be friends with the friend of friend.
I want to be at least civil because she comes around a lot. Like when I hang out with my friend, she's in that friend group and she seems really sweet.
Yeah.
I just don't want to, you know, speak too much to like her personality because I don't know her super well, but two worlds are colliding and I'm like, how do I make it so it's not a disaster?
Yeah, I think the warning shot is well said. Were you going to say something else?
Well, also just in, you know, if it's what's done is done, maybe try to enjoy the drama since you're not going to be really involved necessarily. So if you don't involve yourself, you can just maybe try to become someone who watches it almost like a TV show for a little bit. And eventually it will end and you will be able to have your hands clean of any of the drama when it ends.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is just kind of like, feel out this situation, warning shot if the situation warrants it, but take the back seat, not like the anti-Cupid approach.
Now, if you wanted to fly closer to the sun, I would say ask the friend, or not even ask, just be like, oh yeah, your friend was really nice the other night. Because then she might be like, oh, and she's actually dating this guy. And you could be like, oh, yeah, he's actually a friend. You know, like you could kind of get involved really tangentially. Just don't push because then there will be blood on your hands. And then the husband's friend might be mad at you or something.
There could even be a reverse situation where you said, oh, your friend was so nice the other night. And your friend might be like, Well,
Yeah, right.
she's fine. She's sweet. She's very sweet. But
So sweet.
and then you, like I said, you find out that maybe she's a little bit of a problem.
Mm.
And you don't have to worry about her
She
as
could be
much.
like, oh, she loves cars.
Yeah.
And then you could be like, wait a minute,
Whoa.
this is perfect.
Okay, that makes so much sense. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. Bernadette was the name. Bernadette,
Yes.
thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
You too. Thank you. And I want you guys to know that I am such a huge fan of this show. Miles,
Oh, thank you very
are
much.
just so personable. It's like, I feel like a lot of listeners feel this. It's like a parasocial relationship because you're just such a nice guy. So I am so stoked, and thank you.
That's very sweet of you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, having me blush at the end.
That's nice. You are sweet though.
That's very
You
nice of
are.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. The meddling thing though is it feels so good to just get a little bit involved, but you can definitely go down the rabbit hole, and then
It's a slippery slope.
it's a slippery slope indeed. We're gonna take one more call.
Hi, Miles. So I have a little issue. On the surface, very simple. I want my jacket back. But to pursue this would likely put me in a dicey situation with a friend. And I don't particularly care about maintaining this friendship, but it's already naturally fading out, and a quest for my jacket would probably cause it to blow up instead, which I don't particularly want. And so, is it worth it? And I guess if so, what is the plan to get my jacket back? Thank you.
This is Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
But we're breaking in
For the
to an
jacket.
ex-friend's house to get a jacket.
Wow.
We're going to need more details because it also depends on what kind of jacket.
I got a
it is.
lot of jacket-based questions.
That's right.
Hello?
Hello, you called perfect person, and I'm here to call you back. I'm here with Jordan Myrick and Kendahl Andreth.
Hi.
We're going to need to give you a fake name here. Jordan, what's the fake name for this person?
Sue.
Sue. First of all, describe the jacket.
Yeah, we
Please.
need brand.
Yeah.
We need
Cost.
year of release of the jacket. We need cost. And we need if there's any sentimental value.
Well said.
So I don't know the brand of it. If this was given to me by a friend. So like one of my very close friends was moving and getting rid of some stuff. So they gave me like some of their jackets. And so it's like a half zip color block, like fleece, like green, red, and blue.
Okay.
Very warm, great for the weather, and like a gift from like a good friend.
Is it like
Okay.
Patagonia style where it's sort of the pattern, the colors are going into each other?
No, it's more so like the chest is green, the like bottom half is red, and the
Oh.
sleeves are blue.
I see. Okay.
Can I ask financially, where are you at right now? Are you poor? Do you have a job? Are times tough or are things good?
So financially, things are doing pretty well. I just started a new job.
Congrats.
And that's the thing. I moved, so I was living in like a more hot place. So like that was a nice like light jacket I didn't super wear, but I just moved to Boston and it got very cold very fast, and I was not expecting that.
Is your friend in the city, in Boston? You said you moved to Boston, or is your friend from the hot place?
So my friend, so we met in the hot place because we both had the same job. She got a new job and is currently in California, and then I got a new job and I'm in Boston.
So this friend would have to mail you the jacket.
That's a lot.
The friend who gave me the jacket is not the friend who like the friendship would end with. These are two separate friends.
Oh, okay.
So why would it end?
yeah.
Okay, so the context in which I lost, we'll see, and now I can't even say that I lost the jacket. She lost the jacket. Was like a very weird night out that kind of by the end of that night, I was like, yeah, I don't really foresee myself still hanging out with this person. Because like, so we went out, important fact to this, I'm gay.
So are Kendahl and I.
I feel so seen and
Yeah.
represented. Thank you.
We're going to understand the story more now.
100%.
Yes. And so like we went out, and we had been out before, like when we were younger in college, because we were friends like since high school, but like never post college have we been like out. So we were going out, and like the minute we got to the first place, she was like, I was like, oh, let's go buy drinks. And she's like, no, we're going to wait for someone to buy them for us. And I'm sitting there kind of like, I got money. Like I'm fine. Like we can buy our own drinks. I hate like the goal of going out for like someone's going to buy me something.
Now, is this club, bar, restaurant, Chili's that you're sort of at the bar? You're waiting for someone to approach and say, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" Right?
Yes. And so I'm kind of standing there because I'm like, well, I would like to go just, get my own. And she's like, no, we're waiting.
That's very straight culture.
Mm-hmm. I've seen
right.
this before.
And I also feel like I'm like very visibly like, I feel like I have worked on like flagging as queer. So I'm like, we are mainly in like straight bars because like the area is primarily straight. So I'm like, I'm not probably going to be getting a drink bought for me. And like, I didn't expect that. And again, I came with money. Like I can get my own drink. And now I'm just like waiting here, like the obvious like lesbian in the room. Like, I wonder what military man is going to buy me a drink. Like, no.
Right. Okay. And your friend I've seen this ritual where I've been out with female friends of mine and they're like, I'm going to go. No, I mean, not recently. In college, this would happen. Like they would go to the bar and just be like, I'm going to get a drink bought for me. And I always felt bad for the guys who bought them drinks because it felt like a weird, like, then they just came back and hung out with us and that person, I don't know.
Oh, 100%. But like I don't know if this is better or worse, but she's the type who's like, oh no, like we'll like lean into it. So now I'm just standing while she's like flirting with this guy. And I'm like, I really can't do this right now. And then it like kept happening throughout the night, like any new place we went to.
Okay, gotcha. So the night goes on, it's sort of awkward. And where do you lose the jacket? what happened to the jacket?
Like the last place we're at, she's like really dancing with this guy, like they're into it. I'm like, okay, girl, do your thing. I'm dancing on my own, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that guy is also there with like his brother and his dad for some reason, which how we found that out, I know.
His dad was there?
It was a very strange situation.
Wow.
Eventually, so like she was dancing with this guy and he invited us out to like Waffle House. And I was like,
where do you lose the jacket? Where does the jacket go?
Long story short, the Waffle House was close. We went to their house and she was like not going to leave. And I'm like, where are these random people's house? These random guys. I have work in the morning. It is coming upon 4 a.m. I have work the next day.
Where did you work at the time?
Waffle House.
I don't know if I can say it. I worked for the National Park Service.
Okay. I think their policy's pretty loose.
Yeah.
That's fine. I work for the FBI.
Yeah, the big boss there is a bear, so I feel like you don't have to worry about it.
So I had work in the morning, but she didn't want to leave. And like, she was drunk, so I wasn't going to leave her there by herself. Plus I drove. So I was like, well, I'm not leaving with these random men's house. Like in this town that we're not familiar with. So like, I'll stay.
Their dad was there too, right?
He was at the bar. See, that was also the weird thing.
So shit.
But also I don't know like straight rituals. So like that's out of my
not what I found to be normal.
Yeah.
My dad's not at the bar with me.
Okay, at what time did you rip that top off?
Yes, very well said.
Yes. So she borrowed my jacket because we were in their house and we were cold. So I had some like jacket. I had like a jacket in my back seat. And so I gave her the jacket. And so she kept staying there, whatever. She goes to sleep. In the morning, we're leaving. And I'm like, hey, like, again, I have to get to work. So we leave. And she's taking her sweet time. And I'm like, girl, we have to go. And she like comes to the car. She's like, oh, I like could not find your jacket. I'm so sorry.
What?
I'll just text him. She like could not find my jacket. And I was like, well, I really need it, but also I am going to be late for work. But she was like, oh, I have the guy's number, so I'll just text him. And I'm supposed to see him later this week for a date, so I'll pick it up. And I was like, that works for me.
Okay, so then you leave the scenario, the evening's over. She says she's going to get the jacket, and where's the jacket today? Where are we now with the jacket?
It is still at that man's house because she was going to go get it. That fell through. So she made another plan to go get it. That fell through. Then she was like texting me and was like, oh, here's his number. And I'm like, I really don't want to like make contact with this guy. Like, I don't want him to have my phone number. Yeah. I really don't want him to have my address because it was the dad. Yeah. And I'm like, also like, just how he was acting that night made me uncomfortable. So I'm like, you figure it out.
That's the dad's jacket now.
That's Daddy's jacket. Now Daddy is wearing the jacket. I hate to say
that's
it.
rough to hear.
I'm
But,
so
yeah,
sorry. I
know.
hate, listen,
We hate this.
being gay is really hard in a lot of ways. And I understand that. And I hate to add one more thing to your gay plate, but that's the dad's jacket now. And also, like, it seems like you're doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
You just moved to a new city. Like, get yourself a new jacket.
Yeah,
like,
new jacket style.
say goodbye to this friend, say goodbye to this situation. Forever, this jacket would remind you of that situation, which was not good and ultimately was homophobic.
Yeah.
So I would say get rid of all of it, get rid of the memories, go out, get yourself a new jacket, get yourself like a little lunch and create a new good memory with your new beautiful jacket.
I agree. I think it's so unfortunate, but sometimes it's like not worth the amount of time you would have to dedicate to get this jacket is going to be triple the cost of your regular jacket.
Yeah. And so you said that the friendship that would be fractured would be with this. There's a confusion about whose jacket and the friend that gave you the jacket, and the friendship would be severed with this person if you were to get the jacket?
Yeah, because I'd have to like go through her and kind of like when the whole thing was happening of like she was going to get my jacket back, she like there was kind of a tone where she was kind of fed up with like how complicated I was making it. Cause like I said, I didn't want his number. I didn't want him to have my address. And she kind of seemed like irritated with that.
Right.
So if I were to like continue pursuing the jacket, it would have to go through her. And I feel like it would just be like really fed up of like, why do you care? Like why, like that sort of stuff that I'm just really not looking for.
Yeah, I think it's new jacket time. I think Jordan's right. I would get the new jacket. Like you said, you've got cash because you had cash for the bar. So I think we use a little bit of that cash from the bar. We buy a new jacket and also go get a little lunch, which I think is a great idea because it's a jacket ritual. You wear the jacket, new positive memory, break the chain of trauma with your jacket, okay? Have a nice lunch at a Panda Express and just vibe it.
And I think she's gone. She's no more hanging out with her.
No, she's done.
We hate her.
We hate her.
Yeah.
She's trash. She's
I
dead
hate
to me.
her. I absolutely hate her.
She's dead to me. But yeah, what are you thinking for the new jacket?
I don't know. I have been like on thrift trips recently, but nothing has been catching my eye.
It's out
because
there.
something like Carhartt E, I feel like I'm really entering that phase of my queerness. So I feel like that would be really lovely.
And Carhartt, by the way, extremely affordable.
Yeah.
I love a Carhartt. I have a bunch of Carhartt pants, extremely affordable.
Can I also say what's even more affordable? Dickies.
Oh, yes.
Has some really good jackets.
Hell
They're like
yeah.
workwear jackets. Some of them are lined, really affordable, good return policy, and also look very dykey. So I would recommend that.
And Abercrombie.
Oh yeah, Abercrombie
right now has their winter jackets are very gay in the men's section.
Okay.
And they fit, but they don't fit like, you know, when you put on a men's jacket and the shoulders are huge, they don't fit like that. They fit really good. And I'm obsessed with them.
Hell yeah.
This is so lovely to hear.
So it's got to be Abercrombie, Dickies, and of course Carhartt. Best of luck finding a jacket. Please send me an update with what jacket you pick out.
Absolutely will do. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate it. You have an amazing day.
Y'all too. Bye.
Bye. Wow. You know, all they needed was just for us to hear the story about the jacket. And
they
now
needed to get it off their
they
chest.
needed to move on
Yeah.
from the cycle of trauma that was the jacket.
So funny how different people are because I have left. It didn't even really seem like she cared about this jacket that much.
Yeah, no.
But I've met people where like I would have someone come over and they'd be like, hey, like I left my like phone charger at your house, but you look at the phone charger and it's like fully broken and there's wires out of it. And they're like, I know I live 45 minutes away, but like I stopped by or like could we meet somewhere? And I'm like, wow, I could leave my kid at someone's house and just be like, take them. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. Oh, I'm leaving things behind me. I'm like on a plane. The idea of trying to figure out something that was left on a plane.
No way.
Never,
No
not
way.
once. Never, not once. Phone, iPad, it's over.
Doesn't matter.
It's over. It's dead to me.
Yeah.
But we have one final segment, and it's a segment we like to call Get Real.
Okay.
This is a segment where we force a genuine moment in an effort to learn more about each other and ourselves. And we find ourselves in the finale of the podcast, the end of the episode. And I have I'm going to ask you a question. And it's, what is something that you are working on in your life recently? It could be a habit that you're trying to break. It could be something that you're working towards. But what is something that takes up your mind recently? Either of you can start when you're ready.
Would you like to start or me?
Sure, whatever you want.
I'll start.
Okay.
I can wait. I don't have to wait for this music to
Oh,
end.
the music will continue. The music will continue.
Wonderful. I have found that I continually say yes to things that immediately my gut tells me you don't want to do that. And I find myself years later still in a project, in a job, in a thing, in a friendship, in a relationship, just kidding, that I don't want to be in. And from the moment it was offered to me, I knew I didn't want it. And I just said yes because I'm obsessed with being easy to deal with. And it is not respectful to anyone because I end up working on long things with people that I don't want to be there for. And it's ended friendships. It's ended relationships. And I have to learn to say no.
It ended friendships and relationships because the projects have continued on for so long that it's fractured something.
It's fractured, and not all my fault, but it has been like not even. I've had to quit something when I finally am like, I can't do this anymore. And they're like, what? And I seem nuts because I just can't. I will just let someone, or like they've treated me poorly.
Yeah.
But I've let it go on so long that they're surprised by my sudden eagerness to leave. And I do it I've had a personal trainer that I hated for a year because I couldn't say no to adding on more sessions. I just need to learn to stick up for myself because at the end of the day, it's a very selfish thing I'm doing because I don't want to have any discomfort. And so I'm making people think I want to be doing something that I don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better, but it's hard to say no. And I convince myself, well, I should do this thing because of XYZ, but I'm starting to just be like, if I can just say no and someone's annoyed with me, that's still more respectful of their time than just pretending to want to do something.
I totally get that. I find myself that I think that like when I was younger, I really tried to make an effort to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And then my life slowly started getting filled up.
Yeah.
And now my life is pretty full. So when I say yes to something, it's like this might be in replacement of something else. And I feel like in the last several years, it's been like, oh, I need to say no to stuff.
Yes.
And that is so hard for me to do as somebody that wants to be like, oh, but I should be grabbing all experiences. I should be doing a dance class and I should be this. And, you know, but at a certain point, it gets too full.
Right. And also like the level at which I think people are going to be hurt by this is honestly narcissistic on my part. Like if they say, oh, we should try to go to Disney next year. A person I've met a couple times. I'm like, yep, I can do it. Put it any date on the calendar, it's fine. Like as if I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to be like, all right, I guess she doesn't want to go and I guess she doesn't care about me. I think it's going to be so intense and it's so normal. Like I don't think of people that way.
No.
But I'm always so scared to upset someone or make them feel bad that I, in turn, just will go along with stuff that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And it's gotta stop.
It stops here.
It stops here. It stops now.
Jordan, what's something you're working on?
I'm obsessed with planning and strategy and like the best way to do things.
Yeah.
And I think it's so helpful and advantageous in so many scenarios, but I also can feel myself and see myself and hear Kendahl telling me to stop doing it, that I'm obsessed with kind of thinking about like, I will just talk a scenario to death.
Yeah.
In my own mind, I'll come up with 9 different ways it could go and how I would handle each one of those scenarios. And it's all just based, I have very bad generalized anxiety disorder and I am medicated, but also some, it can spill over a little bit. And I think it's hard for me to sometimes draw the line between what is good and helpful planning and strategy and what is me just kind of like beating my mind to a pulp, trying to get my way out of a scenario that like hasn't even happened.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think I need to be better at just letting things happen and then reacting to them as opposed to trying to anticipate every single scenario.
Yeah, no, I totally relate to that too. I feel like I've been guilty in the past of getting the juice out of planning and not doing the thing. And it's like I'm squeezing and I'm getting little pieces of juice, but I'm not ever actually getting lemonade by making the thing.
Yes.
Another dumb thing I said on this podcast recently was like, if you wanted to learn if you liked grapes or not, you could research grapes, you could talk about grapes, you could look at pictures of grapes, but you probably should just eat a grape.
That's a great
100%
piece of advice.
And I'm going to take that away from this, and I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to think about you on this journey.
Thank you very much. Well, that's the show.
Wow.
Thank you so much for being
treat.
here.
So
Thank
fun.
you.
I'm glad you guys
so
liked
fun.
it. What are you working on? Where can people find you, etc., for more stuff that you guys are doing?
I have a new Dropout show called Gastronauts. It's a comedy cooking competition show that is so fun. And thank you. And that is out on Dropout now. And Kendahl and I also have a podcast together called Happy Wife, Happy Life. That is a dating and relationship podcast where you email in, we give you advice, and we have guests. And each episode is about a different aspect or thing related to relationships.
Hell yeah.
So we have our wonderful podcast, Happy Wife, Happy Life. And we're on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Patreon, YouTube.
Hell yeah.
And then I also am just on social media at Kendahl Andreth. I do sketch comedy and impressions and all that jazz. And we do live shows in LA a lot, and we do live shows other places too. We do a show called Dating Game where we try to get gay people to date each other.
Oh, that's great.
We do have a live show coming up as part of the New York Comedy Festival.
Oh, sick.
On
Okay, cool.
November 11th.
I think so. But if not, and if you missed it, there are going to be more.
That's awesome. The dating game. We do like
Yeah.
a bachelor format on this show sometimes where we have
fun.
callers call in and try to date my stupid friends.
I love that.
You're going to say me. And I was like, Vision, your wife knows about this.
Yeah, it's when it just I don't release it. It's just me here using my callers to my advantage. Well, check out Jordan and Kendahl's stuff, and if you've got a problem and you're not quite sure how to solve it, just remember that no matter who you are or where you are, perfection is only a call away.
That was a Headgum podcast.